if you know you are a poor person, the government has helped, and something has landed into your hands, please make good use of it. Okay. Because tomorrow you may have the chance, today you may have the chance, and tomorrow it may not be there. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. Stop misusing what is before you.
Discovery. Good to have you, Pastor Afuga. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Mwesugwa. I was worried.
I mean, they are fixing our road, but it's too much.
Yeah, by the way, we need to have a joint effort.
Sure.
In helping our country. Because how can you be in traffic jam for over 4 hours?
Absolutely.
When the distance is very, very short.
I bring you greetings from Honorable Dr. Miriam Atembe. Yeah, I had a couple of good moments with her. She tapping into or drinking from the well of experience and knowledge.
Wow.
She was actually telling me that she discovered. Actually, I'm bringing what we can relate to our topic. While having a 2 hours conversation at Springs of Gorobi, she told Silver Springs. She told me that she wanted to become a lawyer, an advocate, at the age of 9, because she felt she wanted to fight for the rights of women and girls at the age of 9. So she discovered herself at the age of 9. Then later she realized she can do it better when she becomes a member of parliament. That's why she contested in 1996 from Barara district woman MP. So she was giving me reasons as to why. You know, so self-discovery is such a big topic, and privileged to host you as we get into the second part of self-discovery.
Yeah, actually, before I get into that part, you can be that the only person who can stand in, most especially people who are working in the government, people who are interested with different projects, like those road projects. You can be that only person who can work towards developing our country by being mindful and thinking about the future. If you do the right thing, you are not only helping yourself, but you are helping also the generation to come.
Absolutely.
You are helping everyone in the country. Many times we normally have this I don't care mind, and finally it gets with us. Yeah. We all face the same challenge when the jam is too much. For example, even if you have a lead car, maybe you are unofficial in the government, but there is where you can reach, and even your lead car can't really help much when the jam is too much. So, to those who are in those offices where you are interested with maybe what to do, you can do it mindfully. You can do it with a good heart. Yeah, today we are diving or continuing with our topic of self-discovery. And Mr. Mesberg, today our emphasis will be on people who get opportunities of government funds. People get donations from maybe NGOs. People normally get help. That's what I can simply say in simple terms. How do you discover yourself to make sure that you utilize what is being availed to you, because you are the only person who is getting this opportunity?
Absolutely.
You know, many times I get to be amazed because people get chances of landing into opportunities. Let's for example begin with people who receive the PDM money or the other government funds. You know, to get such funds is not easy because it goes through a lot of people, lots of clearances before it gets down to the local community. And no wonder people wait for that money for sometimes even a year or less than a year, but it takes some time. And what normally happens to the people who receive such funds is that they can be there waiting for these funds for more than 6 months, and they stop doing anything in their villages only to wait for this money. And you know what happens?
No.
This person starts even borrowing money from friends because there is some money coming from the government, and actually they call it free money. This is our money, this is voters' money, so we have also to benefit. And what really perturbs me is that when they get this money, they again misuse it, adding a problem to another problem.
No problem.
Yes, we have a problem which we cry about all the time, that the funds which the government intends to give us, it doesn't reach in full. It reaches in parts when some other part of the money has been deducted by some of officials, which may be right. But again, you also becoming a problem, not helping the government to solve the problem of unemployment. Because when Pathway comes here to talk to you, our dear listeners, one of the emphasis we have in our programs is to solve the puzzle of development. Why are people not moving forward? Why are people not prospering in life? Why are people not developing? That's why we are bringing in this issue of self-discovery. Before you cry out to the opportunities you are lacking in your life, people who are not helping you, maybe you are not educated, how are you helping yourself? For example, if there is no one to help you in this world, how can you help yourself?
If there is no one
to help you in this world.
Oh, okay.
And actually, you should even start living with that mindset. Most especially people who are living in town. If you leave the village and you come to town, have this mindset that I am the dad to myself, I am the aunt to myself, I am the relative to myself. So when I get a problem, I have to first of all fight and solve this problem myself. It's not until I fail, maybe that's when I can try to call Mr. Mwesugwa or another friend. But people are used to that. When I get a problem, I call so-and-so, I call so-and-so. So, back to the PDM people. You have waited for this money for over a year. God helps you and you receive part of the money, not all, because they normally tell us they don't get it all. Then after receiving the little, let's say 200,000 or 500,000, you go to the bar and start drinking. Some people even go and marry using that money. Some just waste it. Some use that money to pay their debts. I've been having debts of 1 million and I've gotten 800,000. So, though they have given me this money for buying chicks, to start poultry farming, they use that money to pay their debts. And no wonder they remain poor. Yet there are people who are using 50,000, 100,000 to do such projects and they are being successful. But for you have received 800 or more than 800 and you just misuse it because tomorrow another politician will come and you get an opportunity for what? For another bunch of money. Or because you are connected to a certain office in the government whereby all the time they will be telling you there is this opportunity. Please apply and get it. Please apply and get it. That's why people are becoming lazy and irresponsible.
Okay. Because
they think all the time these chances of being given will always be there. That's why we are saying we need to really look at ourselves and discover our problem. Try to understand ourselves. If for you are crying because of not being helped, but when you can even misuse the little which comes into your hands, when do you think you will come out of your poverty? By the way, the government cannot do everything for us. It has a lot of problems and it has a lot of challenges to deal with. If you don't wake up and start helping yourself, you will complain about this government until you die. Yes. Until you die, Yet there are people who are in the same government, who are working hard and who are surviving, who are doing well in their lives. What do you say about them?
So there is need to strike balance.
Yes.
Between understanding what the government can offer to you, and
what you can offer to yourself,
and what you can offer to yourself, and how best you can take the opportunity of the few available resources.
The few available resources. If you are complaining that the resources are few, this money which has landed into your hands, sit down and have a plan. What can you do with the little money?
Pastor Fuga, is there any way how Pathway of Integrity can support people that have been cheated by government officials? For example, people that have been vulnerably cheated in the PDM. PDM, there's also a yoga project. There are also some people that have been manipulated in the Youth Livelihood Fund. Then there is Women Fund. You know, many people have been duped. The CDO is saying you're entitled to 1 million shillings. But what will happen is this person will be given 700 or 800. And many of them, they don't know where to report. They don't know how to report. They lack support. Is there any way? Do you have a forum?
For our Path of Integrity Network, currently we don't have a forum, and I don't think whether we shall have it. Reason because when we talk about corruption, you know, for us we deal with corruption right from the grassroots. Before even we look at government officials, we need to understand where the big problem is. If corruption can also be in the church, then this problem may be either spirit we need to deal with, because somebody will not steal money because it's not there before them. But most people in our country and in Africa, we can say that they can be corrupt. If the opportunity is there to be corrupt, they can be corrupt. So where is the source of the problem? There is something we need to deal with in people's hearts. It is very hard to fight corruption, by the way. It is very hard.
So complex.
Due to the fact that even those who are fighting corruption are corrupt themselves. Yes.
Actually, I remember we had a report for a given year when the IGG office had to be investigated.
You see?
Then the Auditors General, who is supposed to give us a report of money that was misallocated, misappropriated, misused. Now his office was meant to be investigated, right from district, regional to the nation.
Do you think they were investigating for nothing? No. They were being investigated for a reason. I at one point asked myself why the president was entrusting the army to do most of the projects. Because he can command the army, but he cannot have full command on these people who are called civil servants. There is a problem within the hearts of people we need to deal with. Actually, we the church need to preach the right gospel.
Actually, I was going to say, but these people are coming to your church, to the Father's church, to the Reverend's church every Sunday. And actually they are behaving as good Christians. What's not happening?
Leave alone being good Christians. We have also to accept it in the church that we have not preached what can really transform the hearts of men. We have only preached what people want to hear.
True.
When they bring us their money, we don't even mind whether it is corrupt money or whatever. When they bring it, we just celebrate about it. And we even fear talk about them.
The inequality in there. Someone we can offer 500 or 1 million will come late and has to be recognized. He's disorganizing the sermon. In the middle of the sermon, then you see a man of God posing and say, join me in welcoming Mr. So-and-so or Honorable So-and-so.
Actually, I can clearly say it on air that if there is a lot of corruption in our country, then the church is doing less. The church is not doing its work. Because the president cannot fight corruption. Corruption is within people's hearts and minds.
Yet we expect detergent in the church to clean this time. Clean off this time of corruption.
We need to point people to God, so that people can have the fear of God in their hearts. That's the only solution to begin dealing with corruption. All church leaders must stand and do the right. Because many times we preach to people. We tell them, you man, you need to behave well. But you know what? People don't change because they even see some of their leaders not changing. Yeah. There is need for us to lead by example. If you are instructing your flock to go in a certain direction, then lead them going there. Let them learn from you. But now you are telling them, stop corruption. And they know very well that you also corrupt. That cannot happen. So the church needs to wake up and start preaching. That is the only way we need. We can only help now to deal with this problem. But this problem is within the heart and right from the grassroots. And LC1 at their village, they are being corrupt. LC3, they are being corrupt. Officials in those local communities are being corrupt. And their corruption is not seen, by the way. It is only the CDO, the person in a big office. Those are the only people we know that they are corrupt. Now,
maybe because they are dealing with big money. That's why we pick interest.
One time Innocent was telling me that a person who can steal 1 billion is equal to a person who can steal 1,000.
Hey.
Just because this person only has access to 1,000. Yeah. So the one who can steal 1,000 can also steal 1 billion if they find it.
Okay.
So let's not point to people. Let's look at the source of the problem. I blame us, the pastors, and us, the leaders, for not standing in to preach the right message. If the world is running crazy, we are the solution. We are the light of the world. We are the light.
I mean,
and we are the salt.
Pastor Fuga, as Pastor of Integrity, I needed your comment on why do we have thieves being glorified in today's generation? Thieves in government, thieves everywhere. In fact, back in days, you graduate, you join police, you're a traffic officer, also what? The family will say now that boy is going to get money. They're not saying money because you're getting it rightly, but they think
because they know you are joining an institution
which is known. URA, actually there are two things. You join traffic, you join URA. They say, Katawa son is going to be, is going to develop very fast. Not because of what they know that you're going to receive at the end of the month, but because they know there are many deals.
Now, this is the very thing I was telling you that, when you are in URA, for example, they will say you are corrupt. But even a nurse stealing drugs from the hospital is also there, doing their own corruption. A teacher is also misbehaving at school, maybe. So we just need to wake up, all of us, with
balance,
to balance up. Just to think about it, sit down and think about it. How best can we help our country? As the president tries, the IGG should try, the police officer should try, the person working with the URS should try. All of us should stand in the right position and lead by example. Not until we wake up and have pain for our country to help it develop. That's when it will start developing. This is not a one-man's game. All of us are concerned, and all of us must be responsible right from our homes. Yes, we need to grow up as responsible people, people who have the heart for their country to move forward.
Okay.
So we were talking about people who get opportunities. We began with people get opportunities from the government. These opportunities are intended to develop communities, but you know, you need to be wise and you need to understand yourself, like we've been talking about it, self-discovery, understand your problem, understand how best you can help yourself. Sit down and have a plan for your life. Set goals. Don't have visions in their lives. They wake up, eat, and sleep. That's what they only know. Wake up, eat, and sleep. So long as they have food in their houses, that's enough for them. But to someone who has a plan, to someone who says, okay, this year I want to be here, next year I want to be here, the other year I want to be, in 5 years I want to be driving, you will never find such people wasting opportunities which are within their hands or which are before them. So the mindset shift now we are encouraging the local people to have is that stop. If you know you are a poor person, the government has helped and something has landed into your hands, please make good use of it. Because tomorrow you may have the chance, today you may have the chance and tomorrow it may not be there. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. Stop misusing what is before you. Let's stop complaining, because we have complained a lot about corruption and not our money being stolen in different offices. That may not stop today or may not stop tomorrow, Mr. Morgan.
Yes, sir.
And that will never stop, maybe. I don't know. But how can we work out life in difficult moments? If things are not moving well with the government, how can you help yourself? How can you deal with the problem? How can you survive in the situation? Because there are people who are surviving. There are people who are moving forward in life. There are people who are doing well. When they are not stealing, when they are not waiting for government to help them, when they are working with their own hands to help themselves. By the way, people who are in the village, they have a lot to do. And it is even easier to make up life when you are still in the village. If you want to rear chicken, you can rear chicken. If you want to dig, you can dig and have a garden. Someone was complaining that we dig, we normally have gardens, but we have a challenge of market. We don't have where to market our crops.
Sure.
Maybe that's when Pathway can come in and try to talk to such groups, make them organized, and help them have connections to different markets or to people who can help them. We are doing a program where we do outreach communities, Mr. Morgan.
Yes, sir.
We go and talk to development groups and try to encourage them to be trusted people, and also try to encourage them to learn to utilize their available resources. We try to encourage them to learn to be responsible, to learn to tap into opportunities, to wake up for opportunities. So when we go out there, our emphasis is always on trust. Be trusted people. If you are a trusted person, even the market you are looking for, you can easily get it.
Sure.
Because you can be connected to people, to different people to work with you. The challenge as to why we are not working together is because we fear each other. We are not trusted. So it has been in the center of the challenge. So now everyone can help themselves. People who are in communities, in local communities out there, can help themselves. The problem we are crying about, it is everywhere. It is in Busoga, it is in Uganda, it may also be in the West. But you realize that some other regions are moving forward. By the way, let me say this also. It seems there is some kind of laziness in our region also. When they tell people who are coming from this region that you go and dig, you go and have gardens, because there is money in digging or in agriculture. Somebody will say, but I have an office in town, I have a shop in town, can I also go and dig? But people come from the West, you find them in big offices, but while also in gardens. Have you realized that, Mr. Mesuba?
Yes, I've seen actually many.
You've seen many. And even one of them told me that one time they told him that you people, you are lazy, but again you are big spenders even. You don't know even how to spend your money. You don't know how to make it, but you can easily spend it. So think about it as Usonga region. We have complained a lot, but we need to wake up and understand ourselves. What is our problem? If the government is not doing enough, if NGOs are not doing enough, how can we help ourselves? Number two, I want also to talk about these people who normally receive funds from NGOs. You realize that somebody has been funded for 10 years or 5 years. But if you ask them, what have you done with this money that you've been receiving for all these years, they will never show you. Why? Because they are used to free money. They keep saying, even tomorrow I will get it. My donor is still there. And they can spend this money recklessly because they don't know even where it comes from. So you ask yourself, does this person have a vision in his or her life? Or they are just living life like that? So you realize that even the problem of unemployment is being created by we ourselves. Not because there are no jobs there, but we are also not being creative to create jobs for ourselves. If the government is not doing enough, or if companies and organizations are not doing enough to help us,
what are we doing?
What are we doing? That is self-discovery. Self-discovery. If you sit down and look through your life, how can you help yourself? Can you stop that nonsense of wasting time? And mind you, we even say, this man I receive sende za bazungu. Hey, what sende za government? It's not me who makes this money, so I can misuse it anyhow. You people, it's like eating the seed, and you fail to go and invest it and multiply it. When you eat it today, tomorrow you will have nothing to eat. We need to learn to invest the little we have or we are receiving from all our well-wishers, so that we are able to sustain ourselves in the future.
Okay.
Even those who are helping us will be grateful if they realize that we are doing well and we are progressing in life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we take a short commercial break, but I want Pastor Fuga to give me your opinion on this.
Yeah.
What is the sense out of this story? Is it the self-discovery from Puga and his friend?
You know, Mr. Mesuba, that story has been interesting and it is very, very bad that it is going viral. And many people are taking it differently. But like how I began, we need to understand the source of the problem and how to deal with this problem. You know, when it comes to stealing, how to steal and when to steal, you may not tell when that can happen. Why are people tempted to steal? It can be a question to everyone. That's why I'm saying the church needs to wake up and teach the right and also show people the right direction. Because today is Impuga and Alien Skin, tomorrow is someone else.
Sure.
Yeah. When they are put in those offices, they go there when they are good people. But because they are being exposed to lots of money or monies, you realize that somebody is changing from good to bad. How do we overcome temptation? Because temptation can come to anyone. Don't just focus on Umpuga and Alien Skin. Now turn to yourself and ask yourself, how best have I helped my country to take the right direction? What can I do? If everyone is doing wrong, if everyone is not doing the right thing, What have I done to help this country? Because if you are 1, 2, 3, 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, 50 people having the right mindset, eventually we shall have a very good Uganda.
Okay.
Yes. In Perth, we say that we are not fighting evil by arresting people or by condemning people. But we want to overcome evil by doing good. After realizing that we now have a problem in the country and everyone almost is being corrupted, then a few of us can wake up and stand on the truth, speak the truth, walk the truth, encourage others to take the same direction. If there are a few of us who are waking up to do the right thing, then others will follow. And I don't want to take it to the people whom we call that they are in the world, to us who are in the church. I want us, the church people, to begin the journey of transformation. Because at least we have the power of God within us to help us. Some other things, some other behaviors are spiritual. They need to be dealt with spiritually. Maybe somebody needs prayers, somebody needs to be talked to, somebody needs to be preached to. And this is the work of the church. So Mr. Mwesiba, I will not throw the blame to anyone. I don't want it. Yeah.
Thank you for that comment, and also giving that general opinion, because it guides on a wider perspective. We are coming back after this. Still with us is 89 Smart FM is reference point. I have Pastor Fuga, Director, Pathway for Integrity, and this show happens every single Monday. So don't miss this kind of talk every Monday as we pave way for having a community that can be trusted. And if you have a trusted community, trust me, development will be achieved. No trust, no development.
Sure.
There is no doubt about it. And so, Pastor Fuga, is there anything that you want to add on before I really bring in the callers?
Maybe actually, I would love to hear from the callers.
Okay.
Then I'll give my feedback or way forward on what we've been discussing.
0752 890 890. Today's talk has been more about public funds and also the money received through donations for NGOs, grants, and people don't pay attention to details and manage it for granted.
We need to encourage the listeners that the church, as a church, we shall try to play our part. But what you should know, our dear listeners, is that the problem of corruption varies from one degree to another, from one person to another, and it is engraved within the hearts of many. Many people are battling with it. Some corruption is happening in just behind the scenes. We don't know what, though it is not seen. So it is something we need to deal with by trying to come up and do the right thing. If it needs prayers, we need to pray. But also taking a decision to act right. You know, prayers alone will never help if we don't wake up and really show people the right thing. We study the scriptures, understand them, and they set us free.
Yeah, sure.
We get to be transformed. So I'm encouraging you that we should not even say that to okay, we may not associate with them, but let's also be good people. Stick on the right thing and act right.
So we can teach them by being role models.
Yes, by being role models. Our dear listeners, I want to end the session by actually inviting you. Our church is located at Mafubira Rest Assured Fellowship. This Sunday we are launching a new facility, Muyembe Stage. You can come and join us.
Okay.
Thank you.